28 days earlier in Polk County, Auburndale police officer Stacy Booth would also be the first on the scene of a domestic violence call. And just like Lionel, she would end her shift riddled with bullets, fighting for her life. They say if you want to know where someone has been,
we're working to keep the scar tissue down.
All you have to do is look at their scars. For Auburndale police officer Stacy Booth, they are apparent at the rehab center where 9 months ago she learned how to walk again, and today tries to regain the use of her right arm. The other is a mental scar, circled on a calendar.
September 2nd, 2011.
Surprising that it was a child caller on the line.
For the first time ever, Officer Booth would take us back to that night, firsthand.
Why so nervous? What do you think?
Just because I haven't been back since the incident.
The incident was the night Booth almost lost her life. A 911 call from inside Michael Lester's home was from a young child saying mommy and daddy were fighting.
Possible 22 between the parents.
It was a home Officer Booth had been to before. Just past 10 p.m., she knocked on the front door. There was no answer.
I remember looking back to check the window, and that's when he got me.
Through the window?
Through the door.
Then came her chilling distress calls. Police say on the other side of the door was Lester, an SKS rifle in his hands. He would unleash 20 shots. One would decimate her right arm, another shattered her hip and pierced her intestines.
And when he got to stomach, I just kind of went like this. I screamed and then fell backwards. And as I was falling backwards, I could see sparks just coming out of the door.
Help me, I need 911, help me.
Unable to walk, Booth crawled across the front lawn. She noticed the open garage of Lester's next-door neighbor. She got inside safely and began to bleed out on the floor.
I need an ambulance, please. Please. I'm shot. Please.
Stacy, this is Jimmy. Hang in there, okay? We're on our way to you, all right?
I don't think I'm going to hit bad.
I thought about my fiance, who's my husband now, and I thought about my mother over and over again. And my biggest fear was that they were going to have to get the news and they weren't going to get a chance to say goodbye. Like, that's all I thought about, was how unfair it was for them.
20 minutes later, she was rescued, and Lester was arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer, while Booth would spend weeks in the hospital undergoing 5 surgeries. The 6th, last month, would reverse her colostomy, which Booth would conceal under her wedding dress, the day she became Stacy West. She would battle depression and is still coping with anxiety and sleeplessness. Her husband has been right there alongside her.
He had to make sure all the doors were locked, lock our bedroom door, keep a light on in the hallway, make sure the gun was by the bed. I would make him get up multiple times throughout the night to check the house. I mean, I was crazy.
Talk to any law enforcement officer, and they point to Stacy's case as the prime example why they fear domestic violence calls more than any other. They say they are volatile and unpredictable, and many times alcohol is the fuel to the fire.
It's so hard to get the victims to cooperate sometimes. And you go on these domestic calls and you make arrests, and the husband or wife are just back out the next day, and it's a constant cycle. The domestic calls. So I think that gets frustrating for us as law enforcement, because we are trying to help you, but you're not letting us.
Booth wishes more women knew there are safe places to go and start their lives over. That when police knock on your door, they are there to help, not judge. And they will even put their life on the line. Not long after her shooting, a woman came up to Stacy, a familiar face Booth could not talk out of leaving her abusive husband months earlier. And all of a sudden, Stacy's scars made sense.
When I got shot, it was like it hit her. She's like, oh my God, this is serious. This could happen to me. And she left him.